I would have brought my bagpipes. I can't inflate them anymore.
Do you play?
Welcome to the Chamber of Commerce and our other special guest today. I'm Jonathan, President of the Rotary Club of Winchester, and this is a very exciting celebration for all of us. Just one announcement, Linda Doucette is doing some videotaping for WinCam, so if anyone has any problems or concerns about being taped, please let Linda know, and she'll make sure that you're not on camera. Can you all please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now, one of our co-leaders for today, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Larry Murray to get on with the festivities. Larry.
Thank you very much. On this very special day over in Ireland, of course, this is actually what they say is a holy day of obligations, a very special day in which we honor actually the death of St. Patrick, who lived, of course, many, many years ago. Was not born in Ireland, but came to Ireland to bring Christianity to the great land. And when asked to give a little invocation today, I said to myself, you know, how could I possibly give an invocation that would match the great wisdom and the great oratory skill of St. Patrick himself? So I decided that it would be appropriate today, on this wonderful day, to ask St. Patrick to come and to give the invocation. Is St. Patrick available?
I bind to myself this day the power of God to guide us, the might of God to uphold us, the wisdom of God to teach us, the eye of God to watch over us, the word of God to give us speech, the hand of God to protect us, the shield of God to shelter us, the host of God to defend us against all evil, against every person who meditates injury upon us, whether far or near, whether alone or with many. And may you always have work for your hands to do. May your pockets hold a coin or two. May the sun shine bright on your window pane. May the rainbow be certain to follow each rain. May the hand of a friend always be near you. And may God fill your heart with gladness to cheer you. Enjoy your meal.
Making some Irish coffee over there against the wall, and you're more than welcome to make yourself an Irish coffee. You just take a little coffee and a little bit of cream, a little bit of brown sugar, and some Jamesons to fill out the cup. And the coffee will keep you awake, and the whiskey will put you to sleep. Enjoy.
All turn your chairs toward the stage. my great pleasure to introduce the O'Shea step dancers, and to MC the festivities, can I have Maggie Corville come up, please?
Hello, we are from the O'Shea Chaplain Academy of Irish Dance, and the first dance we would like to be performing for you is called The Spirit of Boston. So we have taken it over and we think we do it better.
on Wednesday. It was actually Donna's idea, and also to invite the Chamber of Commerce. I thought that we'd dedicate this next song to her. It's My Wild Irish Rose. We'll do that one next, okay? My wild Irish rose, the sweetest flower that grows. You may search everywhere, but none can compare with my wild Irish rose. My wild Irish rose, the dearest flower that grows. And someday for my sake, she may let me take the bloom from my wild Irish rose. So I think that, we don't want to interfere with the very important time we have for the business. So unless somebody else has a specific request, it might be appropriate now for Donna to conduct the rest of the meeting. Would that be appropriate now, John? Okay, thank you very much.
Speaking of Beauregard Beach, it was in this very hall that we had a speaker from MIT, a Professor Philly, who had supervised graduate student research projects relative to Wedge Pond. And he had discovered several things that added up to the fact that Beauregard Beach, it wasn't called Beauregard Beach at the time, that the beach could be reopened, that the water could be cleaned up. The beach had been closed for at least 10 years, and I think it was settled opinion that that beach would never be open again as a recreational facility. So Professor Philly had some big news that the heavy metals were deep in the middle of the pond and were stable, would not come up in the water, move the water, that some things up the brook from the pond could be repaired, and we could one day use that beach again. So at the conclusion of his talk, Professor Philly's talk, Clarence Beauregard, sitting right over there, stood up and waving a $100 bill, saying, "Let's go, let's do it." And that was the start of the Beauregard Beach Fund. And so I'd like to add, in commemoration of Clarence's spontaneous representing the elders of the town, you might think that it would be basically a beach for the kids. But he led the way all the way through raising money. So I'm very happy to remember that and to be able to match his $100.
Well, no. For all that I did, you never would have had the Jameson if it wasn't for
From the golf committee, and I know Bob Lord had an announcement, and then I think unless anyone else has an announcement, we'll,
I just want to give everybody an update about what's going on so far. Right now, we have 27 paid golfers. I don't think we had 27 paid golfers a week before last year, so we're well on our way. I know Kennan's got 8 people. Savannah has a lot of people that still have to come in, and we haven't even sent the brochures out. So if you do have any friends or yourselves that want to play, you should really consider getting signed up right now so you don't get turned away. We have sponsorships now have come to $4,600 in sponsorship money that we have collected so far. And Jack has done an unbelievable job in these auction and raffle items. He has collected in-kind donations with, as we've talked to you before, hotel stays, we have Red Sox tickets, we have all these sports memorabilia stuff. We have the duck tours, we have Aquitaine, I think there's a restaurant at the South End, we have Bertucci's, we have Flora's, we have all sorts of things that are going to be in the auction items.
We don't have Nike and we don't have Disney.
Disney, right?
But they made a big mistake during the meeting.
We've got $4,500 worth of auction items so far. So we are well on our way. I've left brochures there on the table on your way out for those that don't have the brochures. Or you can go to winchesterrotarygolf.com and you can register to play or to sponsor online also. Thanks, Donna.
A real brief announcement directed more to the chamber guests today. Over here in the corner there's a display that describes a little bit about what Rotary is and what we do in Winchester. It'll give you a little bit of an idea as to some of the programs we have. There are several members of Rotary who are also members of the chamber, so there's no reason you can't belong to both. And so I just opened the door of opportunity to learn more about the Rotary. There's a yellow brochure there, a trifold, that tells you more about our background and the various programs we support here in town, as well as internationally. Please take one with you and consider learning more about Rotary. It's a great organization. We have meetings similar to this every Thursday, and it's a great deal of fun, a great deal of camaraderie, and we feel we provide a very good service to the community. Also, for anyone else, including Rotarians who weren't totally familiar with the shelter box program, and for everybody's benefit, we purchased 3 shelter boxes to be shipped to Haiti. And there's a description of the shelter boxes, exactly what it contains, a tent for 10 people, a family of 10. About 90 or 100 of them, I think, Rick, came down from just our district alone in Rotary and were shipped from England to Haiti. You can actually, there's a serial number for every single tent that's purchased or every single shelter box that's purchased, and you can follow the track as it's shipped from England down to the site that you're purchasing it for, which in this case was Haiti, and you can actually find out which community is being put up in and who's benefiting from it. So it's a tremendous program. As I said, we bought 3 of them. There's some more information there, and look forward to reading it. Anyone else wants to talk further about Rotary, please give me a call, or Donna, or anyone else who's here. Thank you.